Hi, my name is Emily and I'm an environment educator here at Green Acres. Today I am at the Water Quality Education Center to study soil composition using a shake jar. Before we get started, we first have to think about what is our soil made out of. So our soil contains three main inorganic particle types: sand, silt, and clay. Sand is our largest particle type, so it's going to feel really rough and gritty when you're rubbing it in between your fingers. Next we have silt. It's a medium-sized particle, so it's a little bit more silky, feels kind of like flour. And then finally we have clay. Clay is actually our smallest particle type, and you can't see a single clay particle without a high-powered microscope. So what you see here is actually a combination of lots of different clay particles stuck together. Now, the combination of these particles in your soil sample is going to depend on where you are. For example, you might find more sand near the ocean compared to in a field. And sometimes you even want a certain percentage and combination of these particles, especially if you are gardening. A lot of gardeners think that the best soil combination to work with is 40% sand, 40% silt, and 20% clay. And they call that mixture loam. So let's see how much sand, silt, and clay we have in a forest soil sample. To make a soil shake jar, you can use any type of clear container, as long as you don't mind it getting a little bit dirty and it has a tight-fitting lid. So today I'm using a mason jar, but you could also use an empty peanut butter jar. Fill up your jar about a third of the way with soil, and then you're going to fill the rest with water. Put the lid on and give it a really good shake. So let's make a prediction. What particle type do you think is going to settle out first? Sand, silt, or clay? Do you have your prediction? Let's see what happens. If you look really closely, you're going to start to see some sand particles start to sink down and settle here at the bottom. That's because sand is the largest particle type. If you let this sit overnight, you're going to see some other layers form. So let's look at a jar that I made yesterday. Here you can see some clearly defined layers sorted by particle size. So at the bottom we have sand, our largest particle. On top of that we have silt, and then at the top we have clay. You'll notice that the water is actually a little bit cloudy. That's because some of these small clay particles are in suspension. At the top we also have some organic material floating, like leaf litter and also some roots. How do you think this jar would look different if we'd taken a soil sample from our creek bed or a field? What do you think a soil sample from around your own home would look like? Now you can try it out by making your very own soil shake jar. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next time here at Green Acres.